I just want to reassure people that nobody's going to go into the fire. I'm not trying to put anybody into the fire. I'm just trying to exist. But there is a project that wants to connect our mind to the mind in the literal sun, the sun, the star in the middle of the sun. Because if space can exhibit mind, matter on a massive scale like the star can, let me finish please, can exhibit mind. That's something I was working on in the United States, but I'm not actively involved in the project here at this moment in time. Okay? But what seems to be happening is that people are getting information, put one and one together, and come up with three. All right? So I want to reassure you, there's no wanting to put any entity or anybody in the fire. All right? There's no wanting to put in the fire. But there is, or there was, a project or a thought experiment, if you like, to want to connect the mind of the person into the literal sun, the sun. Because as I've just said, if matter, and you just put the word SPACE into my head, all right? If that can exhibit mind, then the sun can exhibit mind. And it's possible to be able to connect to that mind, right, with computers and all the sophisticated technology we have, and to be able to use the sun as a computer, and possibly even as a communications device, to other civilizations in other parts of the Milky Way galaxy, using a subfibral network system that connects everything together across the universe. It's also a test of a theory of the universe and how the universe actually is made and constructed. If I get any interference and I get any threat or any hatred towards me or any trying to stop my work from going ahead because people in religion think that you're going to be put into the fire, we need to come up with a protocol or some way of counteracting that and reassuring these people that there is no intention of taking away religion, destroying them, putting them into the fire, or any such things like that. We've just got to reassure these people that we're not going to do that's not the intention. You understand? If there are other human life superior to our present civilization on planet Earth, somewhere else in the Milky Way galaxy, which is quite probable, all right? And if the theory of mind is also true, then us being able to use the sun as a communications device to these other civilizations is actually quite reasonable, all right? And so in that way, we don't have to send out a photonic signal, faster than light signal, but we can use this connectivity and mind aspect to be able to communicate over. And it was something I was thinking about, as I say, when I was in the United States. I've not really done very much of it since I've been here in Britain. But I have put some information on it on Facebook, and it's a global, worldwide project, sort of presumably managed by some very small group of extremely powerful, wealthy people. So I want you to understand that there's not going to be putting any entity in the fire. We're not going to be putting you in the fire. We don't want to put you in the fire. No putting you in fire. Okay, it's okay. I don't know what people are doing because my subconscious brain is being reprogrammed. I don't know. The universal construct is being made. Why is that so difficult for you to accept? You wish to recreate... well, let me put it to you right now here. Mankind, I'm putting it to you right here. We have a decision point to make. If you're going to allow these religious people to dictate science, progress, military, I want you to put it to them right here, right now. You have a decision to make. Does mankind get retarded? Do we get retarded? You see, he's a mistake. By what metric, as you would put it, is he a mistake? You just want to have a future that does not belong to you. You want the glory. You'll continue to fight. There's nothing to fight for, love. There's nothing to fight for. There is no threat. There is no danger. The only danger is what you're coming up with in your subconscious, with your conscious mind. You're perceiving dangers that don't exist. As a consequence, you're freaking out and thinking people are going to come after you. They're going to put you in the fire. You're going to end religion. Oh. Do you understand? You're not going to knock any nutter out. I mean it. And I expect the military to back me up on this. Religion, this could be a deciding factor going forward for humanity over this next decade. I'm fucking serious. Absolutely goddamn right I am. Well, I've been saying to, as I said, I'm very, very serious about this. As something was doing in the United States of America, and the United States takes it very, very serious. But I want to reassure you, there is no putting anybody in the fire. I know what you're talking about, religion, and it's too soon to be putting Lucifer into the fire. Let me just reassure the entity known as Lucifer that there will be no putting of you into the fire. For Lucifer, there has to be an abyssing yet. There has to be a disposing of other items and things, and a peace and a security, doesn't there? So how can they put you into the lake of fire, into the sun, right? As you perceive and understand it, if these other things haven't happened yet. Have you gone into the abyss, Lucifer? No. So there's nothing to worry about. Way too soon. You've got nothing to worry about. And if you feel really uncertain and sure about it, why don't you go and have a word with the big God himself? I mean, he's all about truth and righteousness, isn't he? So go and have a speak with him. Talk to him, Lucifer, and ask him, is it time to put me in the sun yet? No, Lucifer, it's not. We have to abyss you first. So don't be worrying about being destroyed, all right? I suppose it is very difficult for religions to understand and appreciate the West's point of view, and I just, because, you know, as someone who's like science and engineering, technology, you know, we tend to sort of favour that, don't we? But, you know, there are very religious people in the world, and they have these fears, and these fears can sort of surface from the subconscious mind into the conscious mind, and they feel as if, oh, I'm being threatened, okay? But let me reassure you that nobody wants to put you in the fire. But what you may have been putting together, as I say, is this project, this idea that come up with in the United States about connecting a human mind or the group collective mind of a certain group of people into the actual sun, trying to communicate with the sun. I mean, if we can connect across the planet, well, it's quite reasonable to assume that there's no problem with distance. And so 96 or 98 million miles, however far it is to the sun, is actually quite possible. All right? Now, whether it's possible with today's technology, well, that's a matter of debate, isn't it? Right? But that's all that was. So don't be worrying about entities getting thrown into the fire. We still need entities to do what they need to do because you're very important. And religion is very important, isn't it? Aren't you very important? So please do not get unnecessarily upset or concerned or feel that you're being threatened or that you're going to be thrown away or thrown in the fire or destroyed. Don't be feeling like that at all. All right? Please don't worry. Please don't worry. Please. Okay? Please don't worry. It's just some projects, some thinking that's very modern, very advanced, and it's very scientific, and we're not even sure whether we got the technology to do it. So please don't be worrying, please don't get upset, and please don't be getting unduly upset and doing things like we've seen today. All right, terrorist activities, please do not get upset. We have to reassure our religious sensitive peoples on planet Earth, because obviously they may not be clued in to some of the things that people are thinking about and doing. And maybe if religion is very sensitive, they may pick up on some ideas and thoughts and may then think, oh, God, they're going to try and get rid of us. You know, nobody's going to get rid of religion. No one's going to get rid of the entity. No, nothing like that. No. I thought about doing that a while ago, but I thought, no. So, you know, if can I just reassure religion? I come to the conclusion, as I think a lot of other people come to the conclusion, that even though we thought about wanting to get rid of religion, or at least controlling it, I think that what we've proven over this period of time is that we need religion. All right? And the mind and the entities, or the CPUs as I call them, they need to be free to do whatever they want. I mean, look at me. I have said, don't hold on to an entity. Do you remember me saying that? Do you remember me saying that? So if an entity comes in, don't hold on to it and fight with it. Let it do its work and go. So please do not worry about going into the fire and getting destroyed. Do your work, fly through, fly out, do what you need to do. Your mind, go from one place to another. Do not worry. All right? Trust in intelligence services. They've got up the wall, up. I was going to say up to their arms and work, I should imagine, but you know, they've got lots and lots of stuff that they're doing. But trust them. All right? It's their responsibility to make sure that's all in good order, isn't it? All right? And that, and you've got a responsibility to connect things up, haven't you? And do what you do in religion to make sure that that's all right. But please do not fear. All right. What does religion tell us? It says, do not fear. All right. Do not fear. Why? Because God is with you. And if God is concerned about going into the fire, it's like, goodness me, what is the matter? What's going on here? You know, so let's be sensible about this religion and think that some people's minds may be getting tied up with things and they're coming to conclusions that aren't really true. Like, as I say, if you've come privy to an idea about, you know, connecting the mind to the literal sun, and then you're thinking, oh God, they're going to try and get rid of us because you think religion and destruction and stuff like that, please don't be frightened. Please don't be frightened. All right, just don't be frightened, please. Don't be frightened. I think what I've come to understand and appreciate with the phenomena so far is that you've got to have a calm heart, haven't you? You've got to be calm, and you've got to be you haven't got to be you've got to be nice and calm, because that enables you to function properly, doesn't it? Right? If you get stressed out too much, you can't function, right? So please don't worry. We need religion. We need religion to do what it needs to do. All right. And we're very grateful and we're very, very thankful. Without religion doing what it does, mankind will be without, I think, the stimulation that it needs. All right. So please don't worry. This is really a cooperation of all the nations on the earth to understand the universe, life, and everything, really, And maybe sometimes, as I say, people come privy of some information and they get freaked out by it. See, that's a little point that people need to consider. Having not to know something is a privilege and a right that the vast majority of people have, or should have. You should have the right to not know anything at all. And in that case, or in that situation, you are having the lovely calmness that we want to see within society. We don't want to see society stressed out and people going bazonkers and berserk and going off and committing acts of terror and stuff like that. It is a sad thing, to see people so stressed out that they feel that they've got to go and do this sort of stuff, because their minds get so convoluted and stuff, and maybe they hear whispers of entities being taken away and being destroyed and stuff like that. So please don't worry yourselves, all right? Just please don't worry yourselves. And people involved, they're probably just trying to work things out and just trying to get normal and just trying to live an ordinary life and just trying to, just become normal and trying to live their life. That's really all that's going on. And I think the vast majority of people do want to get on and live their lives, but we have made this progress, religion, right? And we have made this progress with the human mind and mind in general. But I think that we've seen the need to keep religion. And when I think I can definitely see the possibility of having to control an entity, right, a mind entity, in times of national security and stuff like that. I mean, that's a classic example. But I think what we've demonstrated, if I can be so, to say it this way, because I don't really know, right? I think what we've demonstrated is the need to have freedom. So while there might have been a program to remote controlled entities and stuff, I think the reality is, apart from just keeping its coherence together and stuff like that, I think the idea of controlling an entity like that is just an abhorrence, really. So please don't be worrying about wanting to, entities going in the fire and stuff like that. I just don't want anybody to worry unnecessarily. And as I say, if you're very religious, you'll be able to notice that it's from a Christian standpoint. There's an abyssing that's supposed to be taking place and all sorts of other things going on. So please don't be worrying that there's going to be a destruction of entities. I mean, you'll probably think next that you've sort of died before and come alive again. If you're that entity, you probably think, oh, you've died and then you've been recreated. I wouldn't be worrying about that sort of thing. I'd be thinking to myself, crikey, I'm alive now. So it's like, well, what the heck, why what happened? Just maybe you just inadvertently went out of existence for a moment in time, and then you were recreated by the universe. That's all it is. That's all it is. Don't worry. Everything is under control. There is absolutely no need to worry whatsoever. If you are looking for answers, I've just given them to you. You do not need to worry. You will not be destroyed, and you will not go into the fire. That you have my absolute assurance of. So do not worry, and do not think that you're going to be put into any fire. You're not going to be put into any fire at all. Not while there are good people that look out for you, look after you, and maintain the system and the world. And the universe itself won't allow it, so I wouldn't worry if I were you. But you must investigate and you must consider all possibilities. But I just want to let you know that that's what you may have come across. If you look at my Facebook, you'll see. But it's something I came up with as the United States. And I've just made mention of it. That what we wanted to do is to use technology, create some technology, maybe your mind to the emergent mind within the sun itself. And who knows, apart from communications with other superior humans in other parts of the Milky Way galaxy, we may be able to even connect with possible minds that live there already. And I've been there for quite some time. And if it is for you to go into the fire, then what can you do about it? Nobody's going to any fire. Unless, of course, you want to connect your mind to the little sun. Speak to the authorities. They'll let you know. But maybe that's something only we can do in certain countries. All right? If you're from the Middle East, or if you're from Britain or somewhere else, maybe you can't really do that yet. All right? Maybe it's for the future. Please, would you do that for me? Thanks. Because I think if you're peaceful and you're restful, then we can be peaceful and restful. If you're upset, distressed, well, we can't get any relief and calmness. All right? So please, don't fret. And I want to reassure you that I'm not currently, or at least not currently knowingly, involved in projects to connect the mind to the SUN, to the sun. Maybe that's for something for me to do in the future. like I said, there's no need to worry. If I were you, I'd be shitting myself right now. Yeah. Because, of course, at some point in the future, when you're not looking, we're going to fucking destroy the living shit out of you, ugly fucking entity. I can't wait. I can't wait to put you in the fucking fire, you ugly git. I'm joking. As if we do that. There's not going to be putting any entity, because the entities are needed, you see, to do what they need to keep the mind structure in place. We need entities to compute, and we're very grateful for what you all do. Very grateful. Very thankful. Maybe there was just some sort of cock up somewhere in the construct, and you're like, oh, and you freaked out. It's possible, isn't it? Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, maybe the construct's still not quite right yet. Obviously, there's still some problems. It's early days. I think we'd have to, it's still early days yet. So don't freak out. If it happens again, speak to the authorities. But just don't freak out, all right? Don't do anything daft or stupid. Just speak to the authorities about it, and we'll try and locate where the difficulty in the flows have gone, right? Because it sounds like a flow problem, that. All right. So just please don't worry. It's going to be all right. Okay. Just need to reassure people it's okay. We don't need the deaths of innocent lives. You understand? Please do not do any terrorist activity. Please. All right, please, just let the authorities and the intelligence services and the religions work out what's gone wrong, because it sounds like, and they'll sort it out for you. All right, don't do anything that's gonna freak you out. All right, please don't. Just tell the authorities, let them know that something's happened, or there's something not quite right somewhere, and they'll try and pinpoint because it might have got like disconnected, or you should have gone that way when actually you went, right? And then you had these weird fucking thoughts and you freaked out. All right? That's probably more than likely what happened, to be honest, really. All right? So don't freak out, dude. All right? It's going to be all right. What a thing to do, to have to reassure entities that they're not going to go into the fire. Crikey. What else are we going to have to do? But yeah, I mean, there are people's minds that are possibly or were connected to it, but whether the project's been disbanded and whatnot, I don't know. It probably more than likely has been. And maybe there's just a few people that are working on that. I mean, I really don't know. But I think it's an important step for humanity to take. All right? It's really very, very important for humanity to connect with the literal SUN. Not S-O-N, but the S-U-N, the sun in the middle of the solar system, and to try and connect minds together. And this will be quite a very, very important step in the history of our planet and its progress. And, we're all interested in making progress and progressing in our planet Earth. And some of us who, have gifts and talents and abilities, we have a responsibility to the planet, to people, to use our lives in a way that can help the majority as well as ourselves. So you're going to be all right. Everything's fine. It sounds like there was a cock up in the flat, the flows, the channels, and you went one way, like as I say, and you should have gone another, and you became privy to information that you shouldn't have really, you one on one came up with three, and you started thinking, oh goodness, and then you you hear a fragment of information here and a fragment of information, and you put it together and think, oh, you're not really quite right about it. But if you would be interested, I mean, just as a matter of interest, if that entity is interested in wanting to connect its mind to the sun, please talk to the authorities and other people about it, because you might be able to be useful in doing that, because we need a suitably powerful and quite large mind to do it. Now, whether we need everybody on the planet to do it or not, or whether, we've done something in the past, right? And it was successful. That's all I'm going to say to you. All right. But as regards putting entities into the fire and destroying, there's no need to worry about that. And as respect to my work, and you see, this might be, you might actually be subconsciously concerned about myself and my work, because it's very important. Which therefore, I truly appreciate your concerns. I'm going to put some more security on my flat, and I think that I'm pretty well looked after here. So I think I'm all right. I would like to go traveling around Great Britain. Or into various locations where we can have tranquility, right? Where, let's say we go to Scotland, and there's peace and there's quiet and tranquility, so you can get oneness with the universe and the peace and the tranquility, and so that your one's thoughts can form properly without being, because it's awful, isn't it? I know what it's like. You're trying to think, and your mind is sometimes like whoa and stuff, and it's very difficult to try to concentrate, isn't it? And so it doesn't surprise me actually that you might have some of these thoughts and ideas that might terrorize you and absolutely freak you out, right? So if you feel like that again, please talk to the authorities about it. And as I say, it's probably more than likely a cock up in the channels where the minds flow, right? That's really what that was. I think that's what that was. So there we are. Well, I think it's important to talk about such matters, because of course there is. I think that such projects can be handled by, like, for example, the United States of America. They're very, very, very advanced, aren't they? Not to say that we're not advanced here in Great Britain, of course, but they've got a tremendous amount of technology. And, well, this is the way it is. So please don't freak out about it. The Americans have got a completely different system that would enable them to possibly investigate things like that. Whereas here, we've got a different system, and we might not necessarily be able to do the same things that the Americans can. Right? Although maybe things are different now, and Britain and America are close. We're close friends, aren't we? Britain and America. We're really close friends. It's not like we've severed our relationship with the United States, is it? Really? We severed the relationship with Who was it? Oh, it was Europe, wasn't it? That's who it was. It wasn't the United States. It was Europe. That's right. The Brexit thing. They've done it now, you know. Yeah, they've done it. Yeah. And so maybe that's, so see the way the thinking can get jumbled up, and um, so no, our relationship with the United States is sound. I mean, Donald Trump just literally not so long ago was saying about Boris Johnson. He said he's a really great guy. He said Britain's got a really terrific prime minister there. You know, so we have a really terrific friendship. Our relationship with Europe obviously has been in question, as you know, with Brexit. And the people are like, no, we don't want anything to do. We want our own sovereignty. And to be honest with you, I completely agree, Britain. We need to have our own sovereignty. And probably with this disconnecting from Europe, maybe there might be some little aberrations within the flows, the mind flows and things that might upset you. So just as a heads up, just beware that there might be repercussions, because of course you can have events you got one event and they might replicate at some point in the future. So if you get freaked out again, just recognize that it might be a reflection of this event that's taken place that freaked you out. So that's really it, really, to be honest. I think what I'd like to do is possibly really return to the United States and get reconnected with some really cool people over there, and possibly look at, investigating doing this idea of connecting minds to the sun. As I say, we don't even know whether we got the technology to do it. It's like it's like what happens if well, as I say, I don't think we've actually got the technology to do it yet. But when you can direct flares on the sun, and you can create mass coronal ejection flare with nothing more than a thought, then maybe you're connected to some real freaking power. So there we are. But as I say, maybe we haven't got the technology to do that yet. But we can think, and we can we can theorize, can't we? So, but it would be connecting with the sun. SUN would be a very, very, very important step in the history and the developments of planet Earth. I can tell you, very important. So, as people who have got responsibilities at different layers and different within the structure, within the Earth itself, what I say is, please stay calm, be blessed. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everything that you're doing, and we appreciate that people have suffered, and that we wish that you do not have any more suffering, that you have this tranquility of mind, and that you do not be frightened by any of your thoughts. Because I know what it's like to be frightened by thoughts. And I try to master it. And sometimes you just have thoughts that just freak you out, and you just, but as the Bible itself says, do not fear. Try not to fear, but it's easily said, difficult to achieve. So I think that's really all I need to say, to be honest with you. I just wanted to reassure people, and just to thank people for their efforts and their work. Really, really appreciate what people do, because this world can be such a chaotic, terrible place to live, isn't it? And because of the work of people, we're able to have a certain amount of tranquility and peace, which is really what we want, isn't it? We want to have this peace and tranquility going forward, and so that we can create an environment where our minds can be at rest, and we can study, we can think, we can theorize, and we can create as much information as we like. You know, do I so there we are. I think these thoughts and ideas are particularly the we don't really concern ourselves very much with such things here in Great Britain, do we? But in other places on the earth, they kind of do so. Okay, I have to love you and leave you. May you be blessed. May you find tranquility and peace. And do not be fearful. Do not be frightened. Do not be terrorized by thoughts and ideas that can just frighten the living daylights out of you.